Hello and welcome everyone to the eBay shopping show. Today we're going to be talking about Diaclone and taking a look at some of the things that we think are rare, pretty cool, clear up any kind of concerns that you may have. Now, not exactly expert on Diaclone. James knows a lot more about it than I do, but there's some things that we want to point out that we think might be able to help you, or if you're wondering if it may be Diaclone or kind of an in-between thing, a knockoff, a rarity. Not really looking at any good deals, just because I really don't shop that. And James, you're not really shopping Diaclone at the moment, right?
No, not really.
No. So we're going to take a look at some of those things first, and then we're going to also put together a G1 complete Superion. So we're going to be piecing that thing piece by piece. Maybe we can find 3 figures in a lot for pretty cheap. They all have to be in good collector's condition, and a lot of the figures being white. That's something that if there's any yellowing, then we just pass on it. We got to make sure we get all the guns, we get all the fists, head, everything to make this guy complete. Even the ramp, even though you don't necessarily have to have that. But James, why don't you go ahead and tell people where they can find you, and if you want to let them know about our other shows as well.
Yeah. You can find me VictorySaber77 on Twitter and YouTube, and we have the Cybercast every Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on G1 Hexatron's channel, and then after that we have the Aftercast on my channel at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and our eBay show is every other Thursday at 8 or 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I was going to do Pacific Time, but there you go.
All right, and you can find me Facebook, the G1 Hextron, and that's where I usually share all the news prior to the Cybercast show. And anytime that we're going to put a Aftercast, Cybercast, eBay show up, so that you guys can follow there. I also have Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, all at G1 Hextron. So let's go ahead and dive into this Diaclone stuff. So got quite a bit to share. First thing I thought we'd take a look at is not everything is going to be something that was ported over to the Transformers brand. Even though I think weren't these watches brought over for Transformers, because I believe I had one.
Yeah, I did remember seeing those for sale in the United States. Yeah.
And they had all kinds of different ones. So they had there was a car version. There was a the robot that you would see right here. I think this was the most common one. There was also like a helicopter. There was all kinds of little crazy little things. But as you can see, they're a bit pricey. They did tell time whether they kept it well or not. I'm not really sure. I was a little kid, so I really didn't care about time anyway. And you can kind of see what it looks like when it's all transformed. And that was a crappy part about it, is if you lost a little transformer, then you're just stuck with this like rubber bracelet.
A little watch band that has nothing on it.
I'm sure you could find something to put on there. So some of the other things, like we always like to do this, or always. I mean, this is the 3rd episode, but kind of laugh at these little things. So this is a 2012 Transformers Encore Sound Blaster Diaclone. Now, Jaim, you want to tell people why this is nowhere even remotely close to being a Diaclone? Obvious, other than the fact that this is a reissue.
Well, yeah, it's a reissue, and on top of that, we never got Sound Blaster. It was Cassette Man, which was Sound Wave. Sound Blaster didn't come about until Headmasters. So it's just kind of odd that people like to just use the term Diaclone really loosely. It's like reissue. So yeah.
Like if it's just a different color than what the original Transformer is, they're like, oh, Diaclone variant.
Yeah, it's got to be a Diaclone.
Now, not all the Diaclones changed up their colors.
Yeah.
So like here you have, we're just going to call them Inferno. But this is a pretty nice condition one. You can see some of the things that they come with. Excuse me. You got the fist, and you got the guns. You have the 2 little things that fit on his back. Obviously, the hose and the little chrome piece. But you got your little Diaclone driver there as well. And if you own this figure, or if you don't, you know about the little cab section you can open up. And ever wonder what that was for? That's to put your little Diaclone driver in there.
Yep. It was a really nice gimmick. I just Not sure why they just didn't want to just bring that over with it. Would have been kind of cool.
And we're going to take a look at some of these Diaclone drivers here in a bit so you can get a better look at them. But one, you can see how much this thing's going for. But you'll see a lot of times where they'll say that it has everything except for the Diaclone driver. One, you got to be a little suspicious, and hopefully we'll be able to help you out throughout this episode to try to figure out if maybe it's legit or not. Something like this would be a little bit harder. There's probably some little bitty things that you can find on it, but the Diaclone drivers on their own go like 20, 30 bucks. I mean, they can get a little expensive on their own.
Yeah, they do. And then you also have to know which driver goes with which vehicle because they're not all the same. I mean, color-wise and such.
Yeah, like this one's green. There's a black one, a yellow one, a red one. I believe a blue one too. Like, I mean, here's a red one right here, 30 bucks. And kind of blurry picture, but you can kind of see what they look like. A lot of the card artwork kind of look like this. This one's obviously AFA graded, so that's what kind of brings that price up right there. But you kind of see the front and the back. They had just calling them by their Autobot names. You had Brawn, Windcharger, Huffer, you had Gears. A couple things that you probably don't notice on there. I think I got a couple of them pulled up for us. And another thing is you kind of look down here and the bottom right, and is it Joustra?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's how you pronounce it. You'll see a lot of different brands on there. Sometimes, like, we'll take a look at one that was done for Italy that was Giga.
Yeah. We saw a lot of that back in, when these first were starting to come out. Hasbro and Takara weren't the only ones releasing these figures overseas, put it that way. Not like they are now. So you have to kind of keep that in mind, too, when you're looking at certain things. Is it a Diaclone? Is it not? But, yeah.
Okay, and this is something that we were both pretty sure, I like 99% positive, because I've never heard or seen anything like this, and it was supposed to be a Diaclone. Now, there's no doubt that this is probably a vintage item, but just like there is today knockoffs, there were knockoffs back then as well.
Mm-hmm.
And to change up the Grimlock, or the T-Rex back then just a little bit, they put a horn on him, and they also made this kind of spike thing going down his back, if you can kind of see that.
Yeah.
They're asking quite a bit for it. They put some like little gold up there. Now, you might like it, might think it's cool, but even though it being vintage, it's still a knockoff. So
Yeah.
I still can't see a reason to pay stupid amounts of money for a knockoff. Doesn't matter if it's old or new.
Yeah, same with me. I mean, unless I'm done collecting, I have every Transformer and I'm looking at unique things, but yeah, no.
And we'll see a few things from this Bloodline 1 person over here. Have added some of them, but they say that, let's see, where does he go down to? All my toys and parts are original, vintage, no reissues or knockoffs. All sales are final, no return. So, it's a knockoff, and if you bought it and you probably found out about it, after you watch this show, if you did buy it, then I guess they're not going to refund you. But here's a funny knockoff. Again, it's one of those things that it's obviously a knockoff. They even tell you here in the title, which is pretty nice of them, but they're still charging $350.
The KO Diaclone, which never was released, I thought.
Yeah.
Which is funny. That's what Diaclone or Takara wanted to go that route with the whole combiners, but yet they nixed it in favor of just rebranding it into the Transformers after Hasbro took it and ran with it. But that's funny.
Two Motormasters there.
Yeah.
All right, so here's a legit. And another thing that I know the people here, in America or Canada, if you speak the English language or that's what you know, the more you start kind of paying attention to it, you can kind of like I can tell the difference between Japanese and Korean writing.
Hmm.
There's a lot of I know there are letters and words, but I look at them as kind of like patterns, because I don't know the language.
Hmm.
You can definitely tell that's Japanese as well, and you can see that he comes with a little green rider. So there he is. But this is a legit. Another thing that you'll notice is he has the blue at his crotch.
Yep.
Now, you can't just go about, around and be like, oh, blue crotch, Diaclone. I know it's legit because there's also knockoffs as well. Also, the thing about buying Diaclones is more than likely you're going to want to get it in the box. Now, there's also, the risk of someone buying a legit and a KO and saying, you know what, I really don't need the box and putting a KO in there. I mean, you're just going to have to educate yourself a little bit more, and it's not something that we can really dive into on this show. I mean, it would take a long time to break down every little bitty thing.
Yeah.
There you go. Looks nice. They did the same thing with a swoop.
Hmm.
Now, take a look at Megatron. We've got 2 pages. We're not going to take a look at every single little thing, but this is a Diaclone Megatron, or at least one of them. So this is one of those cases to where they didn't just make one Diaclone Megatron. This is the black version with the brown handle.
Hmm.
So I can get into box here. Let's go to the shot. You can also see that it came with the blue bullets. It also came with some targets back there that you could stand it up and shoot it with. So that was a better idea than the Megatron we got where we were actually shooting each other and our friends. But came with the little targets there to kind of make it a game. They come with a sword and his little gun here. Did not come with a scope or a stock and barrel. But there were 2 others that I know of. There was a version that was silver, like we know, and I believe that had the scope. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it had, I think it had the scope. But instead of the silver that we know it as on a Megatron, it kind of had a goldish tint to it. It wasn't gold, but it had kind of a goldish tint to the silver plastic. So there's that one, and then there's the one that looks like the Megatron that we know that comes with everything. Jaim, you want to tell them a little bit more about that one?
The one that we got.
Or the one that came with the gun, it came with the scope, it came with the silencer and the stock.
Yeah, that one was based off the Gun Robo version. We got that one. Uh, with it. Let's see what happened. It
Or
came
the
with.
difference between people always putting the Microman and Gun Robo stuff under Diaclone as well.
Yeah, Gun Robo was under the Microman Micro Change, which is basically a lot of their stuff was 1-to-1 scale. If you look at the Gun Robo series, we got the Magnum, and we got Browning, which was later on put into the Super Gun Master Force series, and then we got the Gun Robo Walter P38, which is Megatron. And just like what Josh said, there's different versions that you could get, and the one that we got in the Transformer series was actually based off of the one that came from the Man from U.N.C.L.E., which had the silencer, the stock, and all that, which was released here in the States. The one in Japan for Takara at first did not have that. They actually released the original version. So there's different things to look at with that. There's also an e-hobby version that was Megaplex that is goes more with the one that we're looking at right now that has the brown handle.
Yeah, and it's got all the stuff too.
Yeah, but it does come with a silencer and all that type of stuff too, so you gotta be wary of that, or just careful that you're buying an authentic product, but some of the Diaclone did not come with like the silencer or the stock piece. So
They're asking $1,000 for that one. So
well, That's more money than the gun, Magnum. That's the hardest one to find.
I know. I'd rather have Magnum. Maybe we'll look up Magnum here in a second. Shop.
Cool.
And you can see all the little dudes back here.
But the funny thing with these deluxes, they're not underneath Takara. They were underneath Bandai, which is funny. So really, they're not Diaclones. The Insecticons were Diaclones, but not Chop Shot or Venom
And all
Barrage and all those guys.
I think people use Diaclone just to try to get you to click on their toy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, here's something Takara. It's Microman here. And it's just something that's a little bit different. We saw this on the back of that, that wind charger.
Mm-hmm.
I believe is what it was. So not everything made it over to the Transformer brand. Some things probably good.
Yeah. That could have been our Optimus Prime right there or something.
There's your Sideswipe. Yeah, that would have been awful. Yeah, I guess he's got the Optimus Prime colors. Oh, that would have been awful. This is something that we also wanted to point out. Now, obviously not clamped down for $40. And this, they say custom on there, but like we've seen before, and like we'll see today in this episode, that not everyone's going to be so honest with you. So again, kind of educate yourself on, what you're buying.
Yeah.
Also, clamp down, being part of the e-hobby, collectors, little sets and stuff like that they sold. Most of the people that bought those because they were expensive from the get-go probably kept them in box, or they have the box steel. So to see one that would just be loose and kind of this bad condition, you kind of know automatically that it's some type of custom.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate him letting people know. Devastator here. We'll take a look at a better one. It's going to be a lot more expensive. But this one's missing parts. It looks like it's all complete from the picture here, but already at like $1,800.
Wow.
So the other one's a lump. It's more than double. This is one that we wanted to take a look at. So Diaclone, Cassette Man, Soundwave, Mini Change, Taiwan, blah, 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 blah. All right, so first off, red flag, everything's in English. Also, Cassette Man. It's a knockoff. So what the?
Well, he was called Cassette Man, but
Well,
yeah.
But I don't believe they have the Cassette Man here, because I looked at some a little bit earlier, and they didn't have the Cassette Man. It was actually in the the Japanese.
Yeah.
So it being just English here, and this looks like the purple dude, and all the here's the red guy. So I'm not gonna say Rumble Frenzy because I don't want to confuse anyone. We all look at it. So I'm just gonna call him purple and red, but I believe the red guy was here. Unless they mixed it up or something, I don't know. Because they do have it open. I've seen some that have Laserbeak in there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Frenzy.
Yeah, red guy.
Red guy, yeah.
Try not to confuse them. All right. So here's your another. We're basically using these things to bring up points that we want to make. But Transformers G1 Vintage Pre-Rub Diaclone Megatron. All right, so first off, it's in Transformers packaging. Obviously not a Diaclone. Second thing is they say it's the pre-rub, so they're thinking that it is Diaclone. And there's some other things that I looked at. And there was about 6 pages worth of just Diaclone whenever I pulled up this morning, and we just pulled up and kept it to about, I don't know, about 20 things instead of like 300. But a lot of them are saying, like, thinking because it's pre-rub that it's obviously a Diaclone, because the Transformers brand is the one that has the little rub symbols or heat symbols, whatever you want to call it. Well, the story behind that is whenever Transformers first started, is they didn't have rub signs. They just, they put them over. Here's the Transformer brand and the Transformers packaging. They didn't have rub signs. Well, again, like today, they knocked stuff off, or parents were going out and they were thinking that they were buying Transformers. They ended up buying GoBots. Kids were, or not just GoBots, but Zybots as well, or whatever, because there was a ton of just robots that transformed out there. And they're like, all right, we gotta fix this. And I believe it was before the holiday season. I'm not sure exact time it was, but they said we gotta fix this. If it has the rub symbol, and that was something that they started implementing into their commercials as well. It's got that rub symbol, then you got a legit Transformer. And that's how they did it. Now, this isn't going to stop people today from, because those rub symbols, like, sometimes they just fall off, with old age.
Yeah, or they don't work anymore when you're desperately trying to get it to, trying to put as much heat on there as possible, and you're like, come on, work for me.
You got it sitting under a lamp for like 20 minutes.
You're yellowing your figure because of the heat.
Oh, you got yellow spots all over your figure, and that rub sign still won't light up. So, that's the story about the pre-rub sign. So just the people that think that it's a Diaclone just because it doesn't have a rub sign, misinformed.
That thing can easily be taken off too. It's a sticker. So.
Oh yeah. I've had some that they just kind of they just flake off. They've lost all the stickiness about them.
Yeah. No Diaclone's gonna have Autobot or Decepticon insignias on
it. Just something that this is the Diaclone colors. I believe this is this 10-year anniversary? Because that's what that sticker is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they did the Optimus Prime as well. So that sticker right there in the middle, it's an authentic. It's a Takara. It's a Diaclone colors, but it's not a Diaclone.
That's powered convoy, but I'm not sure if it comes with the little vehicle. So it's probably not completely,
full blown.
Yeah. It's a nice, beautiful piece, but it's expensive as hell.
$400? Wow. Just so we can get a look at a legit Diaclone slag here. Again, the Japanese rider. You got the red driver there. And there's a look at the back. And just like they did with a lot of the things right there, they use like prototype for these bots. A lot of them they use like prototypes. So you can see like Swoop, he's got like a gray chest instead of the blue.
Yeah.
Slag, he's all different colors. Even though you just saw him right here, that's obviously gold right there. He still got the blue chest, but that's gold there. To where here on the back. The headpiece it's just a clear. Well, look at that. How he goes from dinosaur when he gets bigger. All right, a couple of more watches. Something that people always think, it's the Diaclone. I hear people think of this two different ways. They're like, it's the knockoff Shockwave. Or they're like, it's the Diaclone Shockwave. It's actually Toy Box or Toyco. Toy Box, I believe, fell under Toyco. And they're responsible for giving you Omega Supreme, Trypticon, Skylynx. But, there's a look at him. I saw this guy's battery cover. There was two different times. There was battery cover and the like a connector piece at the end, and they were going for $60. So those things are always just still expensive. This is one that we were looking at earlier.
That's my favorite.
Skywarp Japanese Diaclone variant, vintage Hasbro 1984 G1 Transformer. So, well, for $40, like, and I think down here, like he's what he says down here, and I've bought stuff from this guy before, and he's usually like all legit, you know. And this isn't like I guess he says it's no fakes or bootlegs or reissues, remakes, or encores. He says that a very few first ones are devoid of copyright stamping. These are very rarely seen. Find this version at a ratio of about 1 to 200. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever heard that. I mean, I'm not gonna straight up tell you know, because from my dealings with this person, I bought like weapons from him. I don't believe I've ever bought any figures from him, but he usually sells a bunch of little weapons and stuff. We'll probably come across some of them whenever we're looking at Superion parts, but I think this is probably just a knockoff, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 2 Diaclone F-15, Starscream and Thundercracker. Again, he's got the Decepticon symbols on it, and I think it's just an error that came out of the factory. I mean, it's like me going out and taking the serial number off my truck saying, hey, it's a first gen. It didn't come serial numbered.
It's the prototype.
It's the prototype, you know, Dodge.
Scratch the serial numbers off and just put 1.
So, I mean, it's, yeah, and it's not even complete anyways. So you're going to have to, complete it with authentic parts and other things. It's just kind of, yeah, I don't know. Plus, for $40, I mean,
no, I mean,
you've seen 1 out of 200 or whatever it was. That's
a cheap price for 1 out of 200.
Yeah.
And I've held quite a few Seekers in my day, and that's the first time I've seen that. So, you know, this is one of those things to where I forget if it was pre-show or during the show, but this is one of the figures that I owned as a kid. So, and they're Diaclone.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, you know, he says that it's near complete. He says that it's missing his drivers, but it's got all the missiles and stuff like that. It's also missing a launcher. These guys came with a launcher and all these little things. Now, for you guys that like all the modern, you know, articulation and stuff like that, this guy did not have it. So, but it was kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Not worth $60 after shipping though, it not being complete.
Yeah, it's got some chromeware.
Yeah, there's one that's a little bit more. It's a little bit further down. Jaim, I didn't show you this one pre-show because I wanted you to enjoy it for the very first time.
All right.
Live. But here you have a vintage G1 pre-Transformers Red Sunstreaker from Diaclone DK1, Diaclone 1982. Now, we're going to look down here real quick before we look at there. And let's see, talking about condition. So it includes one fist, tip broken. So, I mean, it's you got the fist, but it's broken, so you'd have to replace it anyway. One of the missiles, there's yellow under the chrome. Figure has some issues, but the Diaclone stickers are still available. By the way, you can pick those up. You can even find them on eBay. Repro labels might even make them. I'm not sure. He also says most examples out there are missing these, especially on the doors and under the windshield. It appears that, my favorite part, appears that the windshield and doors have been painted over a bit. Okay. You own the figure, so don't tell me it appears. It does or it doesn't. You had the figure in your hand. You're going to be able to tell whether it has painted over or not. Now, you either did this or you bought it like this, and you should have talked to them about it. But there's no appears about it. That is just one ugly mess.
Yeah. And
your son could probably do a better coloring job inside the lines than that.
I think my daughter could, and she's only 2. But yeah, I mean, one, he's supposed to have clear windows, not tinted and such. But
so let me tell you what probably happened here. He bought a broken figure, thought, I'm missing the chest. I'll buy a junk lot Sunstreaker chest because those are broken as well. He painted that sucker and put it on there. I guarantee, I almost guarantee if you scratch that paint, because who would have painted the top? Just had one that was perfectly fine and then decided to paint it like that.
Yeah. Or do a crappy job like that. I mean, look at that. It's even worse. Steady hands. It's all I'm saying. Steady hands and use some type of, tape or something so you can stay within the line.
Oh wow! but it's got the Diaclone sticker.
I don't know. Surprised the tires are still okay, because usually the tires for like Sunstreak are just warp and just
they're bent out.
crashed.
I thought that was hilarious. All right, so we got one more page. Jesus.
Wow.
All right, so this guy, Transfer G1 Diaclone, Tuku, Gazette. So basically, Whirl, they're putting in here, it's Diaclone, 100% complete. Yeah, well, one, Diaclone didn't make this, like you pointed out, but you want to go ahead and explain to him why this is not legit and why it's not a Diaclone?
As far as I know, his arms or his hands, those little claw things, don't pop off and plug into his backside.
Yeah, so here's that. Whoops. Okay, yeah, here's that picture where you have the little claws right here where they plug in.
Yeah.
And the holes here.
And then the other thing is, yeah, the weapons don't seem legit either, as far as I know. Came with a lot more accessory pieces, and just even the transformation is kind of off.
It's suspect.
Yeah.
Now, did he have the antenna? I don't remember if the Gazette had the antenna.
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's one thing I'm not sure on. But yeah, that does not look legit to me at all. Not one bit.
It just kind of looks weird, in a little way, but no.
But the main reason why it's not a Diaclone,
yeah,
is Bandai. Oh, and maybe another reason that, then you can also pick up on the fact that they only want $70 for it. I mean, it'd bring more than that.
Good thing.
All right, I'm gonna let you have at it on this one. This is when you started to bring up.
Oh.
Unit.
Well, Diaclone ended in 1984, and as you can see, this is being portrayed as a Diaclone version of Dezaris from Transformers Victory, which was out in, 1988, 89? Or, no, probably
89?
Yeah, 88, somewhere around there. But, anyways, the term Diaclone is used loosely a lot, especially in the Brave series, because we got, like, Goryu, which is a repaint of Diatlas. It's not a Diaclone. Okay? Sonic Bomber was also put into the Brave series and might gain as Hiryu or Hiryu or whatever his name is, and people say he's a Diaclone. This guy, a Diaclone. Even Death Gary Gunn, he's a Diaclone of Sky Gary from Return of Convoy. And it's like, no, they're not Diaclones. Just because they're repainted doesn't mean that it's a Diaclone.
Yeah, it's even newer. As well than original that came out. I mean that'd be like me saying, what's his name, Gigastorm, that Beast Wars Trypticon. That's like me saying that's the Diaclone of Trypticon. Like I'm going into the future for the Diaclone just because it's a different type of repaint.
Yeah, so be wary of that. I mean, it's the same mold and everything, and it's legit. It is made by Takara, but it's not a Diaclone. Unfortunately, the seller decided to use that just to get a couple more hits, I guess. But
God, he used if he had more room, he would have put Zone Beast Wars in there, and He would
Yeah.
have put Star Wars, just naming every toy that he could think of.
So yeah, if we got a Zazori gun from Brave Goldrand, they probably would have said that's a Diaclone of Scorponok. Like no,
Ooh,
that's not it.
God, I want that thing though.
Oh yeah, I would totally take that, but yeah, it's not. Come on, stop using the word Diaclone.
Now, these are the e-hobby version. You see that they obviously put e-hobby in here. You can definitely tell there's a difference in the packaging, and this is like what we were talking about with Clampdown and also the Megatron
Hmm.
that e-hobby came out with, that came out with a black version as well. So they are the Diaclone, colors and stuff like that. But uh, this is a really nice way to go. This is, I don't know about that price. I don't know. Is that a fair price? I'm not
It's
sure.
a little high, but yeah. I mean,
Otherwise,
they're starting to get a little bit harder to come by because a lot of people like to use this set as, their Insecticon army builder, and it comes with Energon cubes there too, so it's
that's an
really nice.
expensive army builder.
Yeah,
Well, then they also have Blitzwing as well.
overcharge. Yeah.
So they have several others, and then those things even have knockoffs. So
Hmm.
this one I'm not even going to click on it, but it's Encore 28, Devastator reissue, Diaclone, Microman. Man, this is not even in the Diaclone colors. It's not G2 colors. It's not even the G1 colors. It's
Yeah,
still a little off. What do you think about this guy?
that's interesting. It is very interesting.
Again,
Why?
yeah, so it's Transformers G1 Sludge Diaclone Age of Extinction, very rare. Dinobot Autobot movie 4. Um, it's possible that this could have been some knockoff, vintage knockoff. It could be some dude's custom or something like that, but uh, more than likely it's a vintage knockoff of Sludge.
Yeah, interesting.
And it's from the same dude that's trying to sell that Grimlock that we looked at earlier as well. So kind of put things in perspective.
$250, you can get the original G1 Dinobots, pretty much.
Uh, this is a good one right here. So Transformer Diaclone, Laserbeak, Microman, and all that good stuff here. So let's. We're not going to be able to read anything on here because it's supposed to be all in Japanese. But does that say micro cassette can? Oh,
Yes. Can something
can change
to a
into
condor?
Condor. I
Yeah.
didn't see that. I just thought they were calling it a micro cassette can, like a soda can or something. Never mind. But anyways, I shouldn't be able to read any of this stuff because it's supposed to be in Japanese. It's made in Taiwan. It's obviously a knockoff. Back here, we're on the original, boxes. Here in the lower right-hand corner is where you'd usually see the Takara stuff and kind of like the little emblem or the Diaclone emblem and stuff like that. Obviously, it's just a blank yellow space. And also look at the quality of the box as well. Do you see yeah, here we go. Okay. You see how this kind of goes over the
Hmm.
yellow and the gray, also where the yellow goes, and it doesn't connect in the lines. You can even tell by the quality of the box.
Yeah.
So, yeah, $150, and don't tell you it's a knockoff either.
Yeah. Speaking of boxes, I've seen a lot of that as of late too on eBay where people are doing, they say custom, which is nice, but they are making custom boxes of Diaclone stuff. I saw it with the blue streak and some of the other like variants of Hoist or Trailbreaker. And, you know, you just have to kind of be aware of that also.
Oh yeah. Again, you can see them not staying in lines correctly. For different colors and stuff like that for the box. So it's the same dude. There's Diaclone Snarl. this is something that I thought was kind of cool. So, uh, these double changer. This is a RX-7,
The
and
Omnibots.
yeah, this was one of the one of the Omnibots. Now, I don't remember this one actually porting over to. This was one of the Melloways. I remember these two over here. I just don't remember this guy.
Yeah, all three of them and the Power Dashes were mailaways.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I've never saw this guy. It was all these two right here. I mean, they just go for like cheap money.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't think they were Melloways. You'd think that they just like handed them out to you for free every time you bought a Transformer. I mean, that's how they're priced. I mean, you can get them for really, really cheap.
Yeah, because there's no love for the Omnibots or the Power Dashers.
And then there's the Melloway Reflector, which it's not the same situation.
Yeah, no.
Because of time, well, there's another pre-rub Sunstreaker there. This is a Diaclone Ravage, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's a knockoff. One, if you couldn't tell, by $25. I mean, you can't even get the original G1 for that price with all the chrome on it. Here's one because, like we mentioned before, where we actually looked at a legit Diaclone Grimlock, and we had that blue torso. Like we said that you can't just say, "Oh, blue torso, it's a Diaclone." No, this is a knockoff. And this guy also, he's nice enough, or she's nice enough to let us know that it's a KO as well. Otherwise, this is where you'd have to do a little bit of investigating, research stuff.
But for $130 for a knockoff, come on.
And there's that Horn Grimlock again. It's the same dude here. It's very rare, and puts in here its age of extinction and stuff. One last thing I wanted to get to is this guy right here. So this has it titled as a Diaclone, and this is by Giga. It's spelled G-I-G. What they basically did whenever Diaclone was porting stuff over for Hasbro and the Transformer brand, kind of in the middle of that, Italy wanted to get some things over there for them as well. And like we kind of mentioned, that they would go through like all these different companies, so you won't always see like you'll see, was it Joustra on there? You'll see Milton Bradley. You'll see all types of different things on there. This particular one is for Italy.
Yeah.
And you'll see that it's in French on there as well. And they called it. So at first, when people look at this, they're probably thinking, "All right, I just bought it a knockoff," because they left the N out and it says Transformer. But it's actually legit. It's really not. It's kind of that in between going from Diaclone to an official Transformer product by Hasbro. That's why you still see the little Diaclone Sunstreaker over here, and it's actually a yellow Sunstreaker as well.
Yeah.
Auto Robot.
Well, and Gig here being the and you got the Takara sign right there, which is really nice, but they didn't acquire the Transformers logo until a little bit after the fact. They got the license to do the Microman and the Diaclone and such, but then they finally got the actual Transformers brand from Takara or Hasbro or I don't know, whoever it was, but you can see stuff like Galaxy Shuttle was released, and there's also like Lyle Kaiser and stuff like that, all the way up to like Victory Zone. So they're legit.
Yeah, basically the thing we wanted to point out, they're legit. Look at this, man, dude. That'd be awesome to have that.
Oh yeah.
Streaker police car, man.
Why is this a Fair Lady Z police car? That's not a Fair Lady. Gosh, man.
That's why I was like, well, let's just call it Sunstreaker police car, because I was like, that's. I mean, they got the same thing up here.
That's funny. Fair Lady Z. I mean, that's supposed to be Prowl. Now, just think if Prowl and the Dotson brothers actually switched forms, and they were actually the Lamborghinis, and Sideswipe and Sunstreaker were the Dotsons.
Well, mistakes have been made. There's a Generations Diaclone Cup there. Matt,
Right on.
did you know that I even saw Diaclone Generations Jaxus and Windblades and stuff? I was just like, oh my goodness.
Really? That's cool. Especially that Wingblade was accepted this last year or something.
Diaclone Wingblade. All right, so here's the Diaclone Devastator here, and it's going for plus the $100 shipping, $5,600. Ooh, still really expensive, but I want to show you all the cool things that it came with, and you kind of see here in the bottom right corner that it actually had like a little play set, if you will. I don't know if we can get this to move down.
I thought Hook was red. Blue. But I don't know.
Hooky looks red right there.
But the toy actually is blue.
Oh, is it? Ah.
So, I don't know. It's one of those things.
All the stuff still on the sprues. And so you got like this little punch out thing that you can make a little construction set, and this was your background, and this was your base.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is.
They should have brought that back, man, for like this 30th anniversary. Release the Devastator again. I don't care what color or whatever, but come out with that. I think that would have been really cool.
$5,500 for that thing. I don't. That seems odd. And it's really pristine for something that's over 30 years old.
That's just more of that stuff.
But I don't know.
All right, so let's get into the Transformers G1. We will start off. We're going to start building our combiner. Who's the what's the first dude's name, man? I forget.
Silverbolt?
Yeah, Silverbolt, man. I forgot what it was. All right, so we're going to price from lowest first. Oh my goodness, this could take a while. Okay, so we got Jim, do you have the little sheet up here so you can kind of keep up with the price? So okay, so you're going to take care of that.
I'll get the prices down.
All right,
are we doing manuals, instructions, booklets?
I wasn't gonna do instructions.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, so left foot $4.
All right.
Right foot $477. So if we can find the pair for less than $877, that'd be nice. But we got both feet. Chest is $499. Forgot we want to do buy it now. Yeah. No auction stuff because you don't know what the price is going to end up being. Head $5.
Okay.
Silverbolt gun $5. That's a broken piece. Left fist $651. We can probably find a pair of fists for cheaper. And this is just me typing in Silverbolt, so I'm gonna get some different prices later on.
Waist piece.
Waist. Oh, forgot to add that. $695.
Well, there's a pair of.
Is it the other one? The other one is cheaper though, isn't it? $877. Okay, so we'll stick with that. Those looked white too. I don't know how white that is. That one looks dirty here. Everything so far white, good condition.
There's a ramp.
A ramp, $79. So we can find a pair of fist. Okay, pair of fist. 1176.
Okay.
Now, did we just find? Are we
We
still
just found
looking
the
for?
last
Okay. Well, we didn't find a right one yet.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be the cheaper way to go, unless we just put in there Superion, fist, and see what comes up. The other thing that whenever you look up this stuff and you try to do what we're doing, see if we can piece one together in like perfect condition and complete. You also got to try different ways. So like with this, we just put in Silverbolt. You next want to put in like Superion, and then put in all the other ones, and then put in aerial bots.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of see what you come up with. What is this? Oh, that's just a bubble insert. We don't need that. Oh, so here's some silver bolts. We'll see if it's white, and it's really hard to tell with that thing.
Yeah.
Huh. That
This goes
gold.
to show that if you're doing, if you're a seller on eBay, try and for white pieces, try and actually, the better the picture, um, the faster you're going to sell something, I think.
Oh yeah. He says good shape, not complete. All right, can you tell us a little bit more? No, I just jumped straight into shipping and stuff like that. Maybe we can find one better. That one was 1308.
That one looks pretty good.
There's some paint chipping on there though,
Mm.
on that right section, and also some of the gold's coming off of the front window.
It'd be nice to see them and actually have them in robot mode too.
That's the other thing. I mean, you got a transformer. You need to transform it. We need to see what's going on. We're not worried about stickers because we're gonna end up labeling the thing anyway.
Mm.
That one's not. It's not bad. Just seeing the gold that I can see on here, I don't see any flaking or anything else. There's just some dirt on it, but all the paint looks nice. The front gold paint looks good. The little thing right here that you see sometimes broken off, it's there. This piece is on there. Let's see what he says about it. This might be the one. Oh, whoops.
This is Wheeljack's lab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grade from 1 to 100 with mint flawless 100. He says, okay, so on and so on. Okay, so he
What's he
said
graded
this is
at?
about an 80.
Huh.
It's not bad. Like I said, so let's put that one down.
16.
16. Yeah,
Okay.
I like that one better than the others. Missing anything else? Well, check this out. And this is the things where you don't want to just stop right there, because like we've been pricing out, the chest, the waist, the gun, the head. Here you can get head, gun, chest, waist. With shipping, it's going to be 1971. Now, does that come out 1971? Is that a better deal than what we had all those other old pieces pieced out?
Let me see here. 10, 15, and yeah, it is cheaper.
Okay, so there's that option, and no, we don't want to go with that option because.
So we're going with that option, 19 bucks. So that was the head, chest, waist, and Silverbolt gun.
How much was the chest by itself?
The chest by itself was $4.99.
Okay.
Wow, there's a good lot.
Yeah, so here you have. Let's see, just make sure everything's white. It's the main thing you got to look for on this guy. All right, so we've got all the pieces here. We've got the ramp, the 2 feet, both fists, the waist, the head, the chest, and the gun. after shipping, it's going to come to 29, or no, actually 30. Brain fart here. 30.07 cents. Is that the better deal than everything that we pieced out so far?
Let's see, a gun.
So everything.
So, yeah, it's gonna be better in the long run. Yeah. So yeah, I'd go that option.
So we'll just add that to. I hope I added that to watch list and not to cart. I don't want all this stuff again. Let's see, which one was that we looked at? I think it was this one, $16. At the watch list. All right, so for the sake of time, next let's go with who's next on the list. Air Raid. Now, with Air Raid, you want to make sure that you always type in there the way it's supposed to, 2 separate words, and then you also do it as 1 word.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Buy It Now. Shipping are doing from lowest to first. Let's see, that one's broken. And then the guns. So here's something that I wanted to show you guys with the guns real quick. All right, so Air Raid. And break up my little notes here. So Silverbolt and Superion, they share the same gun. It's the big gun. Air Raid. It's going to be a single blaster. The gap between where it fits over his hand is going to be wide. And this part of the handle is longer than Skydive's, which is single blaster. It's wide, but Skydive is going to be a little bit shorter. There's also a different design here at the top, but they're very similar. Now, I want to show you guys Fireflight and Slingshots because they're completely different here. So Fireflight, he's got the double blaster. He's the only one that's got the double blaster. So that's how you tell him. It's really easy. And also Slingshot, his is very easy as well. It's the really narrow, skinny one as far as the gun goes. Skydive, as you can see, it's very similar to Air Raids.
Yeah, the barrel's a little different.
Yeah, the barrel's a little different. The top is a little bit different, but this is also shorter. It's not as long. So those are the little key things that you have to help you out on that. But looks like first gun for him, 790. Let's see. Oh, we can find him. He's usually not too hard to find. Well, he's got some scuffs on his.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to mess with that.
And the other thing too is, I would really want to see these in robot mode because their heads are the connector ports. So you're going to be doing a lot of scraping potentially if you're putting it in and out of Superion mode. So you kind of want to see that also.
Well, this is the third one that I kind of looked at. This one doesn't have as bad scraping there at the silver. It looks like it's going to be really hard to find one that's just absolutely perfect. Why are none of these in robot mode?
Yeah.
It's not like they're hard transformations. Okay, this guy says excellent condition. Look at all that dust, man. You can at least. Oh, he's got his. The head looks good.
Yep.
Silver on the cockpit looks good as well.
So $13.95.
Man, we got expensive with him. Jeez.
Yeah.
Better find some of these dudes for cheap. Let's see. Fireflight. We're not gonna bother putting the guys in together. This one is gonna be $550 for the gun. Oh, well, that's bidding. I thought I put on here. Just buy it now. Guess it changed on me. For parts, no. Okay. That's broken too. We're not trying to repair stuff here.
Ooh, $30.
Jeez. But he's got his gun at least with him. Paint looks good. No transform. It's this Wheeljet guy. He says that it's an 88. So we'll just say $30, and that way you don't have. It comes with the gun.
Okay, so we're getting rid of that other one. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll get rid of the gun. Kind of doing this the fast way here. Skydive.
Yeah.
Gun 584.
584. Okay. Wait, is that a gun and the robot, or is that an option?
It keeps on. Whenever I switch here, it keeps on switching off. Buy it now. You could probably find some of these things auctioning for cheaper, but here you have. Let's see the bot. Does it look good condition? It looks like the wings are staying up. There's really no issues on paint on him. Is it him again? Yeah, I guess we just go to. He says it's rated 75 with some wear. Let's stick with 80 or above. Even though not everyone else is going to probably hold themselves to that type of standard, but we'll see.
That's a knockoff. Look at the wings, and then even the rub sign, which is not even a rub sign.
It did take us long to run into. Look at look at his head.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not even close to being authentic. That one looks pretty good.
80.
80. Okay, so we got an 80 on that one. 16 even.
16.
Slingshot is the last one. The jerk. So it's slingshot. So we're looking for a helicopter here, right?
Yeah.
$7 for the gun. That white doesn't look too bad. Oh, let's just look at the thing here. 70. No, don't want to do that. What about this one? Rated 60. Jesus. What the hell? This is a freaking knockoff again.
Looks like it because you can see that the sticker on the waist isn't there. It looks kind of cheap.
Okay, white. God, come on, man! You couldn't like focus it before you took the picture or retake the picture. All right, well that's with a gun, and that's at 17. Great shape, great color, great figure. All right, we'll go with that. So you can take the gun off, and we can just go 17.
Okay.
Now that would be everything to make it 100% complete.
Yeah. So let me do some pricing here.
All right, I'm gonna also search aerial bots, see what I come across this. Oh, thanks for having your Creos under G1 aerial bots. Appreciate that, guys. And your books. Oh, looky there. Or you could just buy a knockoff for $100.
Nice. Right now, with everything that we did, is $136.76.
136.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see what this guy has. This is the cheapest one, and here's the thing: is whenever like we went through, we got the cheapest, and we also made that they were good condition, like no yellow, no stress marks. We inspected everyone. We know that none of them are knockoffs. The paint's good on all of them. So we inspected every little thing individually. The chrome's good on everything. This, you're buying it as a set. So there might be 4 good figures and one that's bad, or the head scraped in paint and stuff like that. You really don't know, especially if you only take 4 pictures here for us. But this guy is doing it after shipping. He says it's vintage. Before you buy any G1, you also want to look at other things that they sell and sell history as well to see if they're all they do is legit stuff. If they do like any type of knockoffs, I don't really do business with them. There's some paint shipping on the Falcon down there. It does come with the 4 guns. Let's see here. You can see Slingshot. His gold in his cockpit scraped, so it's not as in good condition as ours. I think that our Silverbolt may be a little bit wider. Let's see. And his does not come with the ramp. He's got the decoder things here, which are never really important to me.
Yeah.
That just means that there's a crapped out box and garbage somewhere. But this isn't 100% complete. So this is some of the stuff that he says it's complete, but he doesn't have the ramp for it. But this is at $140 and 54 cents. What did we come out as?
$136.76.
We still came out cheaper. Ours was, and as far as we could tell, better condition, and ours is 100% complete. As far as parts goes, and this is still, missing a piece. The ramp.
Yeah.
So we did good.
Oh yeah. And I looked at some of the ones that previously sold, and they're around the $90 to $100, but those aren't even complete. And what's missing a lot is those small little guns, essentially.
Yeah, they'll say like Superion complete. What they mean is this guy right here is complete, but you also need all these little things and all these little guns and all that other stuff. So kind of a little bit longer show, but I think it was good. Had a lot of Diaclone information in there. We basically, in case you're just tuning in, the video version will go up on my channel, G1 Hexatron, probably 20 minutes after this or 15 minutes after this. But you can piece these things out individually for a really good price and inspect them individually. There's some that I really don't recommend doing that. The C-Cons, the Predacons, you're probably going to run into situations to where they're a lot more expensive to do it that way.
Yeah. I would totally. If I was doing the Predacons, I would just buy the reissue.
Yeah.
That's just me. And even with the C-Cons, there is some mold degradation, but you get all 6 of them if you buy the the BPTS, little exclusive that they had, that little reissue.
Yeah, and not only with the C-Cons, you have to buy like their weapons for their beast modes, and then the weapons for their, also their robot modes, and then you also have the little stand and the little thing that fits on top of it to put them on in their little target master mode. So there's a lot of little bitty things that you have to track down to where some things just aren't a really good idea to try to piece together. But Superion's a really nice one to do that with. So thought we'd show you guys. Next week, or not next week, the following episode, which is going to be 2 weeks from today. You want to do Brave?
Yeah, we can do Brave.
Do you want me? Well, we can discuss it later then. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Jaim, you want to go ahead and sign us out, tell people where you can find you and our other shows?
Yeah, you can find me, Victory Saber 77 on YouTube, Twitter, and check out our Cybercast, which is every Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on G1 Hexatron's channel, and then the Aftercast, which is every Saturday also at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and obviously our show here, the eBay Show, every other Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time here on G1 Hexatron's channel, and it will be Halloween Eve.
Ooh.
Will be our next show, which will be kind of cool. October 30th.
I promise I won't wear my Cobra Commander. Doing that. All right, and you can find me on my Facebook page, the G1 Hexatron. You can follow me on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at G1 Hexatron. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. We will see you this weekend for the Cybercast and Aftercast.